You, what's up? Welcome
What's
to another
up?
edition. That Part Podcast 305, where we get it in on the political side here in South Florida, keeping you up to date and informed. And boy, do we have a lot. We've been doing like special edition shows and all that kind of stuff to get in the different candidates and giving you guys an opportunity to make some wise decisions as we get ready to vote. My name is Papa Keith, and my amazing host is Janae Tate. What's up, Janae?
What's up, PK? What's up? What's up? I was trying to figure out what network we're on so we could tell people on the so are we just live on that part podcast or Papa Keith live?
We're on Papa Keith Live, That Pop Podcast. We're on my Facebook. We're on all the things. So,
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
so get with
Okay,
us,
okay.
for real, for real. But we don't have time to waste. We're going to get right into it. Our very special guest today is the one and only Dale VC Holness. He's a transformational leader, former mayor of Broward County, and longtime public servant with more than 20 years of elected experience. Rising from his humble beginnings, he has dedicated his career to expanding opportunities, strengthening communities, and advocating for working families. Throughout his service as a Lauderhill Commissioner, Broward County Commissioner, and County Mayor, Holness has championed economic development, safer neighborhoods, small business growth, and equitable policies that improve quality of life. As mayor during COVID-19 pandemic, Holness led Broward County through one of the most challenging periods, overseeing millions of dollars in emergency relief, rental assistance, and public health initiatives. Widely recognized as a champion for equity, small businesses, and criminal justice reform, he continues to focus on delivering practical solutions that create opportunity and lasting change for Broward County residents. Ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, let's bring the man to the stage, Dale Holness. How are you, my brother?
Hey, what's up, Papa Keith and Janae Tate? Thank you so much for your generosity of lending me your space for this afternoon.
Well, we're glad to
Yes.
have you, and thank you for your service over so many years here in South Florida.
Yes. Glad to have you. Thank you so much. We know like how busy you are on the campaign trail, so taking the time to speak to our audience means so much. Thanks.
Yeah, they call me Dale everywhere and for everyone. So I have to live up to that reputation, right?
You're doing a great
So
job.
you know, yesterday someone talked to me and they says, "Wholeness." I was talking to someone, and they said, Wholeness will always show up. He may do 5 events. He may be late for all events, but he's gonna show up.
Well, you're on time for us, and we appreciate that, brother.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna
I'm
jump
at
right
another
into it.
event that I find a room to sit in to talk to you.
Yeah. So I know your time is limited, and we appreciate that. So we're gonna get right to it. For many people who may be meeting you for the first time, tell us who you are beyond your campaign, like who you are when the cameras are off.
So I come from humble beginnings, as you stated earlier. I was born in Jamaica, in the hills of Jamaica. Beautiful countryside. Immigrated here at 17 years old, finished high school at Plantation High, went to Broward College. And while at Broward College, I was part of student government. I was a freshman senator there. I worked my way through school for the time that I was there. And while working, I actually got promoted at McDonald's to a crew chief, to assistant manager, and then to general manager by the time I was 20 years old.
Wow.
Bought my first house at the age of 22 in Broward Estates, just off Sunrise Boulevard and 34th Avenue. Been in the community for 51 years. I grew up here. I spend my time in District 20. I live in District 20. My business is in District 20. I shop in District 20. I eat in District 20. My life is in District 20, except when I'm traveling out of town. So everything about me revolves around District 20. So I have the lived experience of someone, of the 76% of the people in the district. Growing up here, knowing the ins and outs, every street. I tell folks sometimes I'm better than GPS at times because because I know all the corners that they don't even find. So you know, it's a joy for me to have been in service for these number of years. I didn't just start serving as an elected official. I served in the community in many other ways. I told you I was a freshman senator at Broward College, but I also campaigned for Andrew DeGraffin Wright, for Jesse Jackson, way back when, as a teenager. In fact, one of the campaign managers for Andrew DeGraffin Wright, most people don't know who he is the third black person elected in Broward County. So I've been out there on the front lines, part of Jesse Jackson's People United to Serve Humanity, Rainbow Coalition. I was at the table with him when he did the deal with Burger King to allow for black franchisees at Burger King and to give opportunity to travel agencies, to back then we had the travel agencies. No, nobody really know much about travel agencies, right? Technology has taken that space to public relations company. So I learned early that it's important that we create equity in opportunity for all our people. And that when we do so, we create a stronger community, a greater county, city, state, nation. And that's what we should strive more for. My campaign slogan is prosperity for all, and I mean it sincerely. That's what I've dedicated myself to creating prosperity for everyone around me.
Thank you so much.
You. Mr. Holness, what's one thing voters misunderstand about you?
Well, you know, most voters don't look at policies. They look and listen to hype. And I'm not the hype guy. I'm the practical, pragmatic, get the work done guy. So you won't see me saying all kind of crazy stuff. But that doesn't mean that I'm not producing results. In Lauderhill, I started Lauderhill Chamber of Commerce because I saw our business needed help. I put in place Lauderhill Education A+ plan because our schools needed help. Funding those two at $100,000 a year from the city, not the school board, not the county, not the state, the city. A city didn't have a lot of money, but I knew if we made those investments, it would bring us great returns. As a result, we're able to compensate teachers for money they spend out of their pocket for supplies and stuff that they didn't have in their classroom. $35,000 went to that. The Chamber of Commerce is still standing. 300 members. We put in place measures to help those young men selling drugs on the corner of 55th and 19th Street, working with then careers, we call it Career Workforce One, then as now Career Source, bringing them into the community to make sure they get the training and the skill sets that they could upskill themselves to make a decent living. We cleaned that area up, put more people in housing, their own housing, and as a result, Lauderhill became a better place. Work to get the funding for the Performing Arts Center, the first $5 million from the county. I dedicated 2002 campaign for that and the stadium that's there. So I led the way even before I got elected in 2004 to the City of Lauderdale Commission. Started Lauderdale Sister City programs where we created Sister City with Haiti in Pétionville, Chiguanis in Trinidad, and many other places around the world to build relationship. At the county, when I got there in 2010, I saw the need to still ensure that we're connecting to the world so we can sell more of our goods and our services so that American goods and services can bring money back home. We're being outsold right now by China. So I started Florida's International Trade and Cultural Expo, FITSE. That organization, that event is now grown to where we had 70 countries last year in our 10th anniversary, 5,000 people in attendance, got a presidential award in 2019. That award goes back to Kennedy days in 1962 because of what we did to help our business get opportunities around the world. There's a whole lot that they don't know, they don't understand. The Crown Act that I put in place so that you won't be discriminated against because you wear dreads, weave, or afro, or any of that stuff. If you get discriminated against, if you're discriminated against in Broward County as a result of that, you can sue and get compensation for it because we need equity. Put it in place, ban the box, where you don't get asked the first question on application if you apply for a Broward County job or to a contractor that does business with Broward County, whether or not you've been arrested or been in jail. You get looked at first. And if you are qualified for the job and it requires background checks, then that is done, and you get a chance for rebuttal to say, look, I was 17 years old, I got a little bit of weed. And they stopped me. You can't stop me from living because of one mistake. Listen, at the end of the day, Barack Obama said he did smoke some weed, right? I know. Clinton says, well, I didn't inhale, but I took a puff.
Right.
How many puffs he took, we don't know. But, so we need criminal justice reform in our country. Too many of our people, especially young people, get caught up in our criminal justice system and have no way out. The civil citation program that I put in place in Broward County allow for misdemeanor offenses not to be arrested for. You get a citation, you go through a program. After a period of time, you complete that, no record whatsoever. And then for those who unfortunately get in our criminal justice system, I put in place a restoration opportunity with OIC, Organization Industrialization Center, Newton Sannon. We sat down, we worked this out. When I left the county, $3.4 million annually went to that, so that those who are coming out of our jails and our prisons get a chance to rebuild their lives. They get a job training program, working to service our buses and fuel them and other work at the county. After they complete a program for 6 months, they can get a government paid job that pays a pension, restoring people's lives and creating opportunity to ensure that everyone live to their fullest potential is essential for a country to grow its economy and to ensure that we're not taking care of people who can take care of themselves.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Holness. Why are you running for office? I want you to tell the audience, and why is this the right time for you to run?
Well, I'm running for office because I want to continue some of the work that I started, as I told you before. Obama, while he was in office, did a study as to the best practices for our policing and criminal justice system. I want to make sure that that is implemented. In the county, I put in place an oversight board, a review board looking at criminal justice and police, 24-member. I also look at how we have inequities across our county and across our country, and how we ensure that we create equitable opportunities for folks. So I put in place the Racial Equity Task Force, 36 members from all walks of life, business, police, clergy, the chambers of commerce, every person, and those who are stakeholders who may have had issues, to ensure that we're doing what's right to help our people. At a national level, I want to continue that work. We need to create equitable opportunities for every American. We have an administration in place now that has cut Social Security, cut food stamps, cut back on the Obamacare support that is there to ensure everyone have health care. We must stop that and reverse that big, ugly, nasty bill that they passed. It's not pretty at all. It's very ugly. Okay? We've got to change that. And that's a part of why I'm running. We need to amend our tax code to ensure that working families get an opportunity to prosper. They work to build a country. They work to create profits for major corporations. They should share in the prosperity of it. So the childhood tax credit that we offer should be more than double. Go to at least 10,000. It should be made permanent because that helps to lift families out of poverty. We must expand Medicare and restore what they did with taking money away from that. We must protect our unions and help them to organize so that there can be a counterbalance to mega corporations that are only looking out for profits. We need to make sure that we protect Social Security and Medicare, but we should also work to give small business, especially minority women-owned business, an opportunity with technical support with financing. That's something that I did at the county also, transforming our small business and economic development department to be able to provide tools. The Levin Center at Nova Southeast University help business with that, with business plans and with technical support and helping them find money so they can grow their businesses. That's something that we must do. So there's a whole lot that's on the plate. If they want more information, they can go to my website, wholenessforcongress.com. Wholenessforcongress.com, and you can find the positions that I've taken. You see who endorsed me. More elected officials and community leaders have endorsed me than all the other candidates in this race combined. And there's a reason for it. It's because of the results that I've shown to the people of Broward County. During COVID, I was the mayor of Broward County. We brought the community together to face that horrific disaster disease that we faced. And listen, a lot of people died from it. In Broward County, we had less deaths per thousand than in Miami-Dade or in Palm Beach County because we worked together as a community. Our nation must get to that point where we're working together to build a more prosperous country for every single person.
Thank you.
you. Before you talk about the issues, tell our audience what exactly is the job of a member of Congress, and tell us what you can and can't do. We ask this question because we want to educate people on what the role of our legislators are.
So I'll start with the fact that I served at the local level. At the local level, your code enforcement is local. A lot of stuff that's done, the libraries is local. The policing is local, though you can influence it with funding from Washington. So there are some things that are local, city, some are county, some are state, but you can influence almost anything because you're in a place where you have a big pulpit that you can speak to. You have influence over a lot of areas of lives for people that you can ensure that even if the local government isn't doing it, you can have a voice there. When I was at the county, some of these measures that I talked to you about put in place, I would reach out to Congressman Alcee Hastings, my dear friend. And when he passed away, I would reach out to Congresswoman Frederica Wilson for her to come in and say, hey, what he's looking at for the Racial Equity Task Force makes sense. What he's looking at for the Police and Criminal Justice Oversight Board makes sense. The Civil Citation Program makes sense. I support him. And oftentimes, as a result of their presence, my colleagues on the commission were convinced it was the right thing to do. So that's a big thing that you have in terms of broad opportunities to serve. Now, in Congress, you're one of 435 members who will write the laws of this country that affect not just within this country, but around the world. Congress is the entity that controls the purse string, $8 trillion. I talked about reforming the tax code. That's something that Congress has in their hands that they can do. Now we have Republicans that are siding with President Trump on so many things that are destructive to our country, and they're afraid to stand up. I'll tell you this, if I'm there, even if my own party, the Democrats, are not doing what's right, I will stand up and I'll speak out, because we must do what's right and what's in the best interest of people first.
That's what's up. For all those joining, we are here with a former mayor of Broward County, Dale Holness, who's running for congressional seat, District number 20. What areas does District 20 cover? Because I know they've changed, the lines now. What are the areas that you'd be over if you win?
Well, thank you. When I win, I pray to God for that, and the people's support will make it happen. It's a daunting task, but I think it's possible. Now, it covers from Davie Boulevard north, and on the eastern side, it is Federal Highway. I'm giving you general boundaries here.
Yeah.
And it goes over to almost Sawgrass, and it goes up along, let's say, Hiatus Road, all the way to Coral Spring to Sample Road. It goes across Sample Road, and it's general. There's some little juts in and out of that. Sample Road all the way to Dixie Highway down to Oakland Park, where it then goes to Federal Highway down to Broward Boulevard. So it's 14 cities: Fort Lauderdale, Plantation, Sunrise, North Lauderdale, Lauderhill, Lauderdale Lakes, Tamarack, Coral Springs, Margate, Coconut Creek, Deerfield Beach, Pompano Beach, Oakland Park, and Wilton Manors, and the unincorporated area in central Broward County.
Thank you. If elected, what are the top 3 issues you'd focus on during your first term?
Number one is the issue of affordability. And within affordability, the biggest cost burden people have is housing. We have a housing crisis on the way right now. So that's a big part of what we must fix. And we can fix that by using the choice vouchers that people get opportunity to rent or even to own. That choice voucher system should be expanded. The last time it was expanded was 2017. We need to increase that and allow for many of the people who are on waiting lists now to get the opportunity to get a place to live. We must take that increase and also put a part of it towards new housing units, which means that we dedicate that for new buildings. so that investors can build new units. We must also use it for home ownership. It shouldn't be just for rental. If we can subsidize your rent to an investor, we should be able to subsidize your ownership to your own property. So that's a big piece of what I'll be pushing for. And as a real estate broker for many years, leading the South Florida Board of Realtors Black Real Estate Group, formed in 1947. 11 black women and men started that. As the president of that organization, we're able to help thousands of families get into their own homes. And we've been advocating for a long time to use this voucher system to do that. So that's number one on the list, is the affordability crisis. There are other things that we must do also. And I talked about the child tax credit. That will help with affordability, because many families have children and they can't afford daycare. So they need to work, but they can't work. And because if they work, they probably will make enough money to take care of the daycare, or they got to work 2 jobs, which means that adequate care and supervision of the children is not there. So if we want to increase our population, which a lot of folks say we should, then take care of the children when they're born. That's a big piece of what we ought to look to do in terms of the affordability there. We must grow our economy to create jobs, and good paying jobs. That's something that I've been focused on in a huge way in Broward County. I talked to you about Florida's International Trade and Cultural Expo. But here's something we can do. We're one of the best countries when it comes to manufacturing medical devices. That's high-end technology. It pays good wages. We need to build more of that so we can export it to the rest of the world and give our businesses the tools necessary to sell it to the rest of the world so we can dominate that space. Working with our unions to get them to organize is a big piece, because that will help drive wages up also. So there's a criminal justice reform, the Civil Rights Voting Act, that we must pass that, Voting Rights Act. That's a big piece to make sure everyone participate in our electoral process. When more people participate, the better we are for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just want to switch gears a little bit. When it comes to District 20, this congressional race has been one of the most talked about in South Florida. And one of them has been about the seat remaining with the black representation. And now that is being challenged. I would love to know your thoughts on like the importance of this seat, not that it belongs to anybody, but a large percentage of the district is of black descent. I would love to know your thoughts on that, and also to your thoughts on people feeling like there's so many people in the race that is splitting the vote. I just would love to know what your views have been on this and how that's approached you.
And they can take it away from black representation. That's not right. That's not good. Now let me go back. Historically, blacks after the end of slavery were represented in the Congress from Florida. But during Reconstruction, when they took those rights away from black folks, it took another 117 years before there was any blacks elected to the United States Congress from Florida. Congressman, my dear friend who supported me and gave me his endorsement before he passed to fill his seat, was the person elected to that seat in 1992.
Wow.
76% of the voters in this district are minorities. 76%. It is important that someone with the lived experience of the people in this, majority of the people in this district who understands their needs, is there to represent their voice. It is a great strength for America, for us to have the strength of our people, the diverse strength of our people represented in every aspect of life. It makes us better, not weaker, stronger, not weaker. Now, there are 4 of us black folks running for this seat. And then someone with $2.8 million is in the race also. Not that she couldn't win the seat where she lives in 22, because Biden won it by 3% in 2020. Yes, he did. And a woman's right to her bodily function passed by 60%. If you're female and you got 2.8 million up against a Republican who only has 600,000 with no name, you can win that seat, because even though Trump won it by 10% in 2024, the state of Florida has swung away from him by an average 17%. House District 1 in Pensacola area that Gates had, 22% shift away from Trump last year when there was a special election. House District 6 in Daytona Beach, 16% shift away from Trump. And then where Trump lived, his own house is now represented by a Democrat, a
Wow.
17% switch away from him. Miami mayor is now a Democrat after 30 years. Boca Raton mayor is now a Democrat after 30 years. So it is quite possible. And in fact, I don't see if that person had gone in that seat how the Democrats would lose the seat. It is an abdication of your leadership responsibility to run away from it and leave it for the Republicans to win. When the best person with the most money, you talk about your experience, you live there. That's your seat. Go take the job rather than go take away what's over here that represent a voice of diversity, the most loyal part of the Democratic Party. Black voters vote at 92% for Democrats, compared to white voters at about 35% and Hispanic about 45%. It is damaging our party. Hakeem Jeffries need to be the Speaker of the House so we can roll back some of these policies and actions that were put in place by this current president that brutalizes Americans, especially immigrants, and kill Americans on the street because they stand up for their immigrant friends and family and neighbors. Running away from the seat won't help us get to 218, which is what we need to be a majority in the House of Representatives to make Hakeem Jeffries the Speaker and to roll back these policies. It blows my mind to think that you would do that.
I love the fact
Better say
that
it.
you made some really good points, and then you actually had the statistics, to back that up, man. I mean, it sounds like something that you really are passionate about, and thank you for breaking that down for us and our audience, man. Those are important numbers and important things that you brought up.
Thanks for not shying away from it because I know it's been like a very, sensitive, touchy subject, but I'm glad you leaned in and shared your view on it.
By the
Yeah,
way, the
me too.
data I just gave you, I gave it to the Congresswoman
Okay.
2 weeks before the final decision was made. And I publicly pledged, and I do it now again. After August 18, I win the seat, my job will be until November to win District 22 so that we can make Hakeem Jeffries the Speaker of the House. That's what leadership requires, that we lead on the front when it's hard, when it's difficult. We make the sacrifices necessary. We don't take the easy road out.
That's what's up. On that note, South Florida families are definitely feeling the squeeze every time they go to the grocery, shopping, gas tank. What can a member of Congress realistically do to help lower the cost of living here in South Florida?
First of all, the war has cost American people billions and billions of dollars at the gas pump. They're suffering from it. We could find a better way out than where we are. We are where we are now. We need to make sure that the gas is flowing again, so we need to find some way to get to peace. That's a big deal because it affects gasoline prices, affects everything. It affects the cost of the clothes you wear because it has to be trucked somewhere, shipped somewhere. The groceries have to be shipped somewhere. Everything is tied into the price of gas because that's how we move our country. So that's something that we need to do to make sure that we bring that cost down immediately. That's a big relief for families. I mean, listen, I was filling up my tank before this for $50-something. I go to the pump, it was almost $80. That's a lot of money that, and I can afford it better than many people. So I know people are suffering from it. That's a big piece. I talked to you earlier about the affordability issue with housing. That's something that we can do, and we can do it quickly also. Because if we put those vouchers in, we can help families who have needs. When you look at the fact that we have families struggling to feed themselves, we need to restore the funding and even increase it for those who depend on the SNAP program so they can have groceries in their homes and their kids can be fed. We need to make sure that the Affordable Care Act is fully funded, and that can be done with getting rid of this big, ugly, nasty bill that they passed. That's money in people's pocket because if the cost of insurance goes up, your cost of living is going up. So there's something realistic that we can do. We should also put in place a national catastrophic fund to take the insurance for hurricanes out of your insurance portfolio. If we did that, your cost could go down at least 35% on insurance. That's another big factor that's there. So there's a bunch of stuff we can do in order to help bring the cost down for the American families.
Thank you so
Um,
much. I know we have a limited time with you. Do we have a few more
yeah.
minutes for some questions? A few more
Yeah,
questions?
I would love to ask you about TPS,
Oh, yes.
especially as someone I feel like you could really speak to this in a deeper way than other candidates. Where do you stand on temporary protected status TPS and what broader immigration reforms would you support?
A very good question and timely question. It's so sad that this country is where it is. The Haitian people are affected more than anyone else because they have a large number. And there's no doubt in the world, no one doubt, that Haiti is not a place to send people back to. Our State Department is warning people, don't go near Haiti because you could lose your life. And we're sending people back to there. That's on TPS. I started my efforts towards that back in 2006. I passed the resolution in the city of Lauderdale and sent it to then President Bush to grant TPS to the Haitian people. After the earthquake hit, I did it again. And I was there on the front line with earthquake relief, putting together a grouping and doing events called To Haiti with Love. Haiti has done tremendously good for our country. During the War for Independence, their soldiers rescued American forces in Savannah, putting themselves on the line and being killed to help America gain its independence. The Louisiana lands, 1/3 of this country, all the way from Louisiana all the way up to Wyoming, was given to us because Haiti won its freedom. We have not repaid them. We helped France impose reparation on them that lasted for more than 100 years. Their first taxes went to France for fighting for their liberation and their freedom, and America helped to enforce that. Not only that, we occupied a country from 1915 to 1934, 19 years. Records show that we took their money out of their gold out of their bank. That's not right. We need now to ensure that we protect them. And it's a challenge. And I got to tell you, listeners, we may have to help to ensure that we don't have a real humanitarian disaster right here in our local community. Because if these folks are not able to work, and many of them work 2-3 jobs, how are they going to pay their bills? How are they going to feed their children? And many have American-born children. That's wrong. We should have full-fledged immigration reform. But right now, folks, you got to call Moody and you got to call Rick Scott. You got to bombard them. And if you have any connections to wealthy people like the people at Amazon, Walmart, and all those major corporations that utilize the labor force that helps to build and grow our economy, and by the way, they contribute in billions of dollars to our economy. To get rid of them will create chaos, especially in certain areas, in the hospitality area, hotels and restaurants, in the hotels, in the hospitals. When you look at or farming products, many of them are there doing jobs that many Americans won't do. Cost will go up for us, the economy will go down. It's an emergency situation. We've got to make sure that everything is done. And I was on a call earlier today. We're talking about just that. We got to start organizing our churches and nonprofit organizations to bring the relief for those who are here, and to deport folks back to Haiti right now is criminal, in my mind. Well, you might not say this, but it's immoral. Let's use that word. I think that's a better word to use. It's immoral. It's not what we should do as the greatest, strongest country in the world.
Thank you. How do you stay accountable to everyday South Floridian residents once you're actually in Washington? What does accountability look like in practice for you? Is it town halls, office hours, or something else?
First thing you should know that access to me is very important. People see me everywhere. Again, I'm Dale everywhere for everyone. I'm in the churches on a regular basis. People stop by. My real estate office has been in the same location since 1988. There were times when I was an elected official where people didn't come to the county office. They came to my real estate office or to the city office. And this week, 4 different people came there with issues that they had that I needed to help with. A young man in a little trouble that he shouldn't have been arrested for because he didn't do much anything other than a bystander in a situation that now he's caught up into it for a couple of kids roughing up another kid, and So they came to me, and I'm here working to solve that. Somebody else had a mother who had a medical issue and couldn't pay the rent. I had to find the resources to help with that. So I'm always accessible. I'm always available. My office at the county saw more people than all the other offices combined. We took more calls and send more emails. I'm out in the community speaking at events all the time. I'm there everywhere for everyone.
Mm. Thank you. Dill, where are we with time? Do we have time for one more question?
Yeah, go ahead. They haven't decided to take kick me out of this room yet.
Okay, okay. So you have, 1 minute to speak to our audience directly and any undecided voters. Why should they trust you with their vote, and why are you the person to represent District 20?
Because I have the lived experience and I have experience in governance. And nobody will work harder for you than I will. I've demonstrated that at the county level. I've demonstrated that at the city level. People at the event I just came out of, they say, "You're everywhere." Yes, I am, because I'm everywhere for you. It's about you, it's about the people, it's about service to a community. And I thank so many of you out there who are organizing on your own, talking to your friends and to your neighbors. People come by and pick up signs that I don't even know, but they say you did this and you did that, and I'm grateful for it. So thank you. Wholenessforcongress.com. You can donate, you can volunteer, you can see my platform and see some of the things that I've done in the past. Thank you so much, Papa Keith and Janae Tate, for giving me this opportunity to speak to your audience. I'm truly grateful.
Man,
Again,
this is
thank you for your
great.
service over the years. I learned a lot today. I've always seen you around. I was telling Janae, we were talking another time. I was like, I've always seen him. I see him, especially with the Caribbean stuff. I see him in Miramar. I see him all over the place. But I learned so much about you today, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
So,
And I do wish you the best, Mr.
Thank
Holmes.
you so much. Thank you.
yes. And to your
Together we
point,
can make it better.
yes, and to your point, you are everywhere. I met you Jerk Fest in Miramar, and you came up to me and you literally were like, "I'm running for Congress," and you gave me your information. You were really kind. So like, and I've seen you a couple of other times after that, and you're like, "Hey, I'm running for Congress." Like, so I will give you that. You be out there. You are asking for the vote. You are introducing yourself like directly to people. So to your credit and to your point, you definitely are everywhere.
For everyone. Thank you so much,
Yes,
Thank
Jenny.
you
sir.
so
Well,
much for
all
your
the best
time.
to you, Mr. Holness. All the best to you, King.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Man, that's what's up.
Yeah, he was first of all, the way he read Debbie for filth without saying her name, he was referring to Debbie Wasserman Schultz. If anybody was trying to figure out who he was talking about when we were talking about the district potentially not being represented, the historic
Right.
black district 20 might not be represented by a black person if Debbie Wasserman Schultz is elected. And when he brought up all those points, and I wondered that too, I was like, why did she jump way over here to District 20? Why didn't she look for something actually in her own neighborhood where she lives? So
Listen,
he brought up some really good points that
I'm
I
telling
hadn't
you.
even looked up yet or thought of. So I'm glad he said it and made it plain.
Abby came with the
And I still
stat.
want Debbie on the show. Girl, stop ducking and dodging us.
And he brought the stats too. I
He
really
did.
love the
He was
fact that
like,
he brought the stats and was able to drop those things. 'Cause I like numbers, So when he's
mm-hmm,
saying when he pretty much wrote the path to her victory,
mm-hmm.
So now, you know, I'm a little even more,
Yeah, I'm
tight.
like, what made you jump over here then if there was a
Yeah.
pathway to victory for you? And I heard she has at least $10 million. I think he said 13, 14, but I don't want to say the exact number. I know it's more than 10. So I know I'm gonna be
Mhm.
factual saying that. But with $10 million with this race, she could have made a dent. So I'm
Definitely.
just so curious why. That's why I want to ask her directly, like, what was
Yeah.
your thought process?
I mean, if anybody could get that interview, that'd be great. I did reach
What
out.
you said?
I said, if anybody could get that interview, that'd be great.
Yes. I
At
mean,
this
I heard
point,
she's not doing a lot of press. Have you seen her do anything? I heard she's turning down Channel 10 as well. I mean, I get the strategy behind it because you kind of box yourself into certain things. So for her, it looks like her strategy is I'm going straight to the people, going straight to community organizations, and I'm not going to explain myself to the public. That's what it's
Right.
giving.
Well, to
So
black people, because
I
that's
mean, she's not going to other mainstream media. I haven't seen her do any. I
no
heard she's not even going to
meaning
Glenn Milberg.
meaning she's not explaining herself to black people of why she's running in a
And it's
traditionally
yeah,
black seat.
because
That's what I meant by
everybody's going
that.
to ask why. And
Yeah,
I
of
think that's
course.
also too telling as well. And here's the thing: I'm not even like anti Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Everybody makes the own decision that's best for them and their family. I just think it's very, very interesting that you're decided, like what Dell said, is that district is what he said 75% minority and about 40 something percent black. And so if you feel like that percentage of the audience doesn't need to be spoken directly to on a platform that they trust, on media that they trust, I think that says a lot about who you are and how you know want to represent them. It gives very much a because I said so, because I want to do it.
Right,
And what you
right,
gonna do
right,
about it? I got
right.
$14 million. What y'all gonna do?
Mm.
I'm talking about it. Ain't nobody gonna stop me from talking about it. That's what it's very much giving, girl. But
Oh,
Debbie, come over here and talk to us.
seriously,
Somebody gave me somebody on her team information. I'm gonna follow up.
please, that would be a great one. You know what I wanted to also bring up, but I'm kind of glad I didn't because I don't think it'd be a thing. But he did run for this seat before in 2022 against Sheila and lost by
Forgot.
five five votes. Like
I would have
honestly,
asked it.
as a person who ran, like losing my 5 votes, that's like almost suicidal. Be-
Is it? Because that would have, I mean, that's so close, but I also would have been
That's
like,
what
that
makes
mean I
it.
could have won.
Yeah, but like I'd rather lose by 1,000. Y'all ain't want me. That's fine. But to lose by 5 is just like, you know what I mean? That hurts. That
I
hurts.
definitely would have asked.
I
I would have
like
loved to
I would
been
have
able to
I would
ask
have
him that.
knocked out 5 of my friends. If I lost that election by 5, did you vote? Oh man. Bow!
In my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, that's a household. That's 5 people in the house. Go tell them to vote for you.
Yes. I'd, I'd have to knock out. I'd have to knock out like 5 people that didn't vote for
No,
me. Had
no,
to.
for real.
So
But
that's what I
honestly,
mean by it's tough.
that's why I think he's one of the front runners because of how close he got in that last
Mhm.
election. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see because that one, I know everybody talking about Congressional District 24. There's a live debate going on right now. I don't know if it's still on, but it was
No, it ended at
Juwan
9 o'clock.
Juwan Strader from NBC, I think Channel 4,
Mhm.
CBS Miami, and I think the Miami Herald, and I think Telemundo. A whole bunch of people were sponsoring it. I was getting text messages as we were on about it or whatever. And so, yeah, but everybody's talking about 24, but 20 is also to another one to watch and that people have been talking about as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see where the cards, fall and
Yeah.
who's going to end up where.
And we have a couple more candidates that we have lined up for District 20. That'll be coming on the show. The former, the congresswoman who had the seat before, Sheila, she's gonna come on the show, and the young man, I keep forgetting his name. I I,
Ooh, and
I
it
had spoke
just
to
is
him,
Elijah.
Elijah.
Elijah Manley, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah,
So
gonna
we're gonna
have
have
him
that
on. That'd be
opportunity.
cool.
Yeah, but listen, everybody in the room, please subscribe. Please share this as well, so everybody can get the information. We appreciate everybody who tapped in. Of course, a lot of our family members, we love you. We appreciate you as always.
Mhm.
But please make sure that everyone's subscribed up and everyone shares the link and gets this interview out there for real, for real. And of course, we'll cut it up and have our snippets for y'all tomorrow. So make sure y'all follow That Part Podcast 305 on our Instagram. Also, make sure you follow High Low News, big
That
sponsor.
part.
She love them pillows, boy.
I do, but it's the only thing over here that I can pick up real quick because it's not on the screen.
Promo, right? Make sure you follow and connect with High Low News, man. She's been doing a ton of interviews, man. Who did you interview just the other day that they could watch?
Yesterday, well,
Mhm.
we gotta tell them, go back if you didn't watch it. We had Oliver Gilbert, Commissioner Gilbert on Monday on That Part Podcast on a
Yeah.
special episode. We also too trying to work with people's schedule, but on Can We Talk podcast powered by High Low News, we had um school board District 1 school board candidate James Wright,
Yep.
um State Senate District 34 candidate Christine Shannon Jules. And we also had Miami Gardens seat 2 candidate Laverne Deer. At this point, we probably have about 14 interviews that we've done that are
Yeah.
on our
But I saw
platform.
you. I saw you interview Christine or
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Christine.
about. Christina Santa Jules Olivio or
Okay,
Olivia.
got you.
She got 15 names. So
So that's why I got lost in that one. I saw that interview. That was good.
thank
She
you.
was everybody was saying she was giving Olivia Pope energy.
Yeah, no, and my auntie said she looked like Kerry Washington. I was like, I see it. I
Yeah,
see it.
yeah,
She definitely gave a very good energy, showed a different side of her. The people in the comments was like, okay, who this is?
yeah.
But she's running in the race with against Ashley Gant, who's state representative Ashley Gant.
Didn't
So
you do an
when
interview with her already?
I did. I forgot about that. We did an interview with Ashley Gann, and her interview was really good and informative. And she was breaking it down. You could tell she's a teacher and a lawyer. She was like literally telling us how the legislator works and how to get things passed and what she plans to do. So it's really interesting. A lot of, to me personally, great people running. I think that the future is in good hands, and we're gonna see where the cards lie
Yep.
and where everything falls and ends up. But it has been definitely an interesting political season to say the least. At the end, look, after August 19th, don't say nothing to me for give me a month, y'all. Then we gonna go back, get ready for the general. But I need my time because I'm stressed. But
Yes.
but I'm it's worth it because people are grateful for the information that we're putting out there. They're learning about the candidates and seeing, having these long form conversations with them is allowing them to be able to make their decision on who they want to vote for. So to
Yeah,
me, it's
we want you
a
to make
civic
informed
duty.
decisions. Yeah.
Hmm.
Want that.
I honestly, Dale came in with that rah rah. I was actually really, really impressed in his energy because I wasn't sure. I never interviewed him, never spoke to him more than a few seconds or a few
Right.
minutes or whatever. Like I said in passing, so it's really, really refreshing to see like his approach, and his vision for District 20.
That's for sure, man. Thanks again, everyone. We appreciate you. This labor of love that we do here, man. We appreciate your support. The views mean a lot to us, but the shares and the subscribe mean extra love. So
Watch it
make
on
sure you show
replay.
us.
Like and
Big show.
subscribe. That helps us with the algorithm. Also, to advertise with That Part Podcast, slide in our DMs on Instagram if you would like to be an advertiser. We are talking to a captive audience. You definitely want to get in front of them. So, still have time to um, advertise with us this election season if you're a candidate, and just if you're a business in general. When we on, advertise with us. Reach reach your customer through our audience.
And that goes for Hilo News as well.
I mean that part. And I
That
see
pillow.
Miss
I'm gonna give me a
Miss
pillow.
Sassy said she want a pillow. We gonna make some merch. Don't. All right. Don't don't
Uh,
don't 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 clown my pillows, okay? This is my apartment. I got my brand in my apartment, and I'm okay with that.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, y'all. We appreciate you.